All right, guys, Kevin back, Blueshellgaming, and I want to do a follow-up video to our CGC grading video. We had a rough time with that video. We shot that video kind of live unboxing. Wasn't able to really give a proper reaction and had a few issues with a few of the games. Over the last 2 months, I've been in contact with CGC. We've been working on what we can do to solve the problem. And there's been some back and forth, and they definitely are willing to take care of the issue. So this is kind of a follow-up and a preparation video for me sending these games back out to them for them to fix them. So we have 5 games that we're going to send back of the 20 games that we got back. 3 of them have actually cracks and pieces bouncing around inside the case, and then 2 of them have just really heavy scuffing right on the acrylic, just right out of the package. But we're also doing this in conjunction with a whatnot that will be happening in June, where we're gonna sell a bunch of games that we've gotten graded through CGC. They're gonna get a special mark. So all the ones we're mailing back are gonna come back with that special mark from whatnot and CGC, and then those are gonna go into our live show that we're gonna do for that. So I wanna show the games and show the grades before we send them back. And then when we get the box back, I wanna reopen and recompare, because I really wanna know, the biggest thing for me is, am I gonna get the same grade? So first game we're sending back is the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 on original Xbox, factory sealed. This one might not seem like a really heavy hitter, but raw sealed copies of this in Black Label are about 150, graded 250 to 300. It did get a 9.6A, but there was some real heavy scuffing on the front and the back of this case, so much so that you can see it kind of from every angle. And it's just really nasty. And when you have a game that's in a nice case like this, you want it to look nice. So that's number 1 we're sending back. Probably the least disappointing of them. And if that was the only one, then I probably wouldn't be going through the trouble of sending them back. The Pandora Tower was probably the worst of the scuffing, because it has a heavy scuff that comes all the way catty corner from the bottom left to the top right, and then another one across the other side, and then more along the back from top to bottom. And it just looks like cardboard burn, like they shifted around in the box too much or didn't have enough padding and protection. So those are the 2 like we're gonna send back because of that. Probably the most disappointing was the Conker's Live and Reloaded factory sealed. This is the one that when I opened the box, I could see the piece of plastic that was broken floating right on the top there. It's actually shifted down now, and it's kind of floating around down at the bottom. But what they did tell me was that right here on the bottom, there's 2 little pieces of plastic that connect. Oh, now I can hear it rolling around. It's shaking around in there. That connect the 2, they're basically braces for the top and the bottom, so they hold together. Well, if they get impacted too much, they break and pieces break off and they fall around inside the case. So that one's got some pretty heavy. This one has a smaller piece of plastic, but it's kind of floating around in the bottom as well. This is the Zelda Wind Waker HD. So this was a 9.0. I was kind of disappointed with this grade because it got an A+ seal, but a 9.0 on the condition of the game, which didn't make sense that the game would be a 9.0 if the seal is an A+. But that was kind of interesting. The Conkers did have some seal issues. There were some tears in the seal, so that one got a B+ seal, but a 9.4 on the game. How do you get a B+ with a 9.4 and an A+ with a 9.0? I don't know. This doesn't make sense to me. But we're gonna see when we send these back, if they come back. They told me they might not come back with the same grade. There's a disclaimer on their website that says that if what happened in the case damaged the game any further, there's a potential of the game not coming back with the same grade, or potentially even come back with a higher grade. So we'll see what happens on those. I'm hoping for a higher grade on this one and the same for this one, but I guess we'll find out. And then this is probably the scariest one to send back, because this is the 9.8 A++. This is the highest graded game I got out of all 20 games that I got. I don't think any other one was an A++ and 9.8, but this one has a giant piece of broken plastic inside the case, and it's just stuck right there in the corner. And then you can see it actually is just broken right off of this piece. So in the box, impacted, broke off, shattered inside the case, and now it's floating around in there. So 9.8 A++. If this comes back with a lower grade, I'm gonna be pretty upset. That might set me over the edge with them. So this is my reaction and response, but also this is my, they're gonna do the right thing. Let's see if they do the right thing. And then let's see also if in doing the right thing, taking care of my problem, if I'm gonna end up paying for it in the end by getting worse grades on the games than I had originally. That would be kind of upsetting as well. So 9.6 A+ and a 9.6 A respectively on these two. So we'll see when they come back what they're gonna get on those grades coming back. So I will be shipping them back to them in their box that they shipped them to me in. I'm gonna be repadding it, obviously better than they padded it on the way to me, because it won't have problems on the way there, because I'm not gonna let it. But I will be shipping it back in the same box they shipped it to me, because it's got a divider in it. But I'm gonna be repacking it and padding it better. They're covering the shipping cost to them, and they're covering the recasing. So we'll see when it all gets back, what we get on grades, and we'll re-review and we'll follow up to this video then what we got on that. In addition to that, because of this Whatnot event that's happening, and because we can potentially grade more games, get the Whatnot seal on them, and then have them available for that, I do have another stack of games that I'm gonna be sending out for grading with this. So I'm kind of show you beforehand what we're looking at, and then we'll see what we get back grade-wise from these. One is a factory sealed Zelda 4 Swords, Link to the Past 4, the Game Boy Advance. But this one does have a pretty good scuff across the front that pushes into the cardboard, so I don't foresee a huge grade on this one, but it's just too cool to find a sealed Game Boy Advance Zelda game and not get it graded. So it's going to get graded. It's going to get a low grade, lowish grade, but it's worth it in the end. Little Armored Core PSP action. This one, and along with a lot of these here, are the games that we got from the Sony distribution center. So they all have the hole punched barcodes. I spoke to CGC and I spoke to WATA, and they both said that hole punch barcodes will not affect the game grade because they were factory punched before the seal. So we're gonna see, these ones will be cool just to have for the auction. Cold Fear, Disgaea 2, Devil Knights, Fatal Frame 3, and Digimon World 4. So those are 4 PS2 games that we're gonna send out. And then I have some 3DS games, a little Yoshi's and Poochie Woolly World, Kirby Planet Robotic, Fantasy Life, Pokemon Art Academy. Just because it's a Pokemon game, it's sealed, it would look really cool in a case. And a little Shantae Pirate's Curse. This is a really cool one to have and get graded as well. Now the big hitters, I have the big dog, Fight for New York factory sealed. This is not hole punched. It does have top seal, and these are pristine. So this one, the Vendetta, but then the Chulip and the Tenkaichi both have hole punch barcodes and no top seal, but they are factory sealed. So these are going to be interesting ones, because this is a $300 plus game raw sealed, and this one's like $225. But then we're talking, you know, they're $250 here, and this is potentially $800 to $1,000 raw. So graded, be really interesting to see what this comes back and how high. If we get top pop on this, this could be a big one. So these are all going to go out with the Whatnot collaboration. So June 2nd on Whatnot. If you have not signed up for Whatnot, check the link in the description below. Sign up under our link. You get $10 free to spend. You can come spend it with us or with anybody on Whatnot. But a really cool platform, and this is going to be a good collaboration. This will be my test really to see whether or not sticking with CGC is the right call. How they handle and what we do and what we get on these returns is going to be a big indicator, and then what we look like grading wise here is also going to be a big question mark. So collaboration wise, let's see how it works, and then let's see what they sell for and whatnot, and then let's see if CGC is the place to continue grading. Jury's still out. I'm not gonna give my final thoughts and opinion. I have more things to say and I have more information to give, but I'm going to give that on the follow-up when I get these games back, and then after we do that stream. So this could take 6 months to a year of testing. You don't want to just throw the baby out with the bathwater. You have some problems. Everyone has problems. Things come up. This is the first year of grading. Let's see how they handle issues. Let's see if they come back with more issues. Let's see if sending them more games is good, or if I'm wasting my time and money, I'm doing it for your benefit, for your pleasure. So come back, make sure you sub, like, and follow on the channel, and we're just gonna keep bringing you as much information as possible on CGC grading and grading in general. Thanks guys for watching. Have a good one. Peace.